Previously on the season finale of I Challenge You GX. This is like the frog deck that we played that whooped our ass back in the DM era, but even stronger. We're bringing back Venom Burn. We still don't have Venom Swamp, so here we are with a cringe floodgate deck. Being cringe is just another path to success. This season, we're chilling out with our friends at the schoolyard, opening packs, building our pulls into decks, and cheering on as Borgerbot wields them in mechanized melee versus an even stranger ladder of AI opponents. It's a brand new AI arena with new prizes, new challenges, and a massive ban list that makes every pack count. So without further ado, get your game on! And welcome back, kings, queens, and monarchs of every element. I am the one, the only, the RJB0, also known as RJ the Jank Monarch, and today is the final ladder of the GX I Challenge You season. We have curated the best of the remaining GX decks for Borgerbot to go up against tonight before we move on to the 5Ds era. We're starting off tonight with a deck that is near and dear to my heart. This is Ludwin's Old School Zombies. Oh, the Zombie Madness structure deck brings me so much joy. Ludwin is bringing it to life with this deck. This deck includes some pretty nasty things like double or triple torrential tribute, as well as 2 copies of Spirit Reaper. We've got Ryukoki and Dark Dust Spirit, a bunch of absolute haymaker cards in this deck, alongside the 3 copies of Book of Life. But what better deck for Borgerbot to use to beat back the zombie hordes than the gravekeepers themselves? That's right, we are trying to bring back gravekeepers. Every time I bring this deck back, it doesn't seem to quite work out, but I think this is the matchup where it will go great. Necro Valley is phenomenal into the zombie monsters, and the gravekeepers have a lot of ways of switching monsters between attack and defense to get them out of our way and to produce a powerful board. I think the gravekeepers have what it takes, and we've gotten to modify them a little bit since the last time we played them. We now have 2 copies of Karmika, and we also have the double security orb to allow us to survive in battle. Rite of Spirit is a very powerful reborn card to contend with the triple Book of Life, and we've got 3 copies of Familiar Possessed Win, because I wanted another spellcaster monster for flavor, and 1850 is the biggest stat line we've got, and with Banner of Courage it can get over Vampire Lord. That is my entire thought process for this deck. And of course we have to run the Nephthys package because I think it's cool. This is it. This is the last time I'm going to allow Borgerbot to take gravekeepers on the ladder until we get to them again in 5Ds. Let's see how it goes. So I asked chat, can the keepers keep zombies in the grave? 40% of them said yes, because, you know, Borgerbot wins all the time and cannot be stopped. 60% of them said brains. I'm gonna brain chat. Let the games begin. All right, here we go. Will gravekeepers finally win a game? Will it finally work? Pyramid Turtle as a normal summon is a great way to start off the turn. Can we get a Necro Valley into rotation? They're gonna Magic Jammer the Necro Valley! That's not good. What could we possibly be setting here? Hopefully it's an Apprentice Magician. It is an Apprentice Magician. What are we going to get off that? The second Apprentice Magician. Okay, I should have known. Now, Ryukoki represents a little bit of a threat to us, and the reason why that is because it's got 2400 attack and 2000 defense, but it's not a threat anymore once we discard a card for Karma Cut. Mystic Tomato is now on the board, and they now have a face-up Spirit Reaper, which works out very nicely. Yes! Hand of Nephthys! Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys! Yes! Oh! My favorite card in my collection comes through for us again. It's always so hype when that combo works. Now they have a Ryukoki, but we're gonna security orbit. What a savage move from Borgerbot. Just could not be stopped. Borgerbot gets in with the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, Mystic Tomato, Familiar Possessed. Your move, Discord bot. We're going to take a hot 300 for Mystic Tomato. Now we have a Spear Soldier. Show me the Necro Valley just to twist the screws into them. No, we're just going to tribute some of the Sacred Phoenix and Rite of Spirit back. You thought you had something cute here, but the zombies will stay in the ground. Game 1 goes to Borgerbot. That was the hypest game of Gravekeepers in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. I don't think Gravekeepers have ever been that much fun to watch before. And I think it's entirely because we didn't see Gravekeepers, we only saw Nephthys. Game 2. Borgerbot going first. Normal Summon Apprentice Magician. A strong positional move, we'll say. They're going to set a monster and creature swap it to... What? I guess we will have to wait to find out what that monster is, but I'm perfectly fine with them destroying... Oh no, because... Oh, wait, the Spirit Reaper's gonna get in! Apprentice Magician's effect activates. Sends an Apprentice Magician. Spirit Reaper attacks in. Hoisted by your own petard, buckaroo. Eat that 300 and the discard from hand. You're going to get the Adhesion Trap Hole. We're gonna take a little bit of damage. No, we're not. Borgerbot refuses to take any damage. This is a little bit awkward because, never mind. It all works out in the end. Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys is back. Nephthys cannot be stopped. That's a set monster. What are you gonna do? Summon a monster with a pyramid turtle? Summon a Ryukoki? We're gonna go Necro Valley. We're gonna summon a Sangan. Nephthys into the Pyramid Turtle. Pyramid Turtle into Spirit Reaper. We could have done something about that this turn. Oh, but now we're in this position. Fortunately, I think the enemy bot is going to be a little too stupid to keep the Spirit Reaper on the board. The second it gets a tribute summonable, it's going to find a way. We now have a large board featuring a number of Gravekeepers and a Necro Valley Suck It Book of Life. We're going to normal summon Assailant. We're going to get hit with a Torrential Tribute. Wait, that means Nephthys is coming back. That means Nephthys is coming back. Welcome back to the... Oh yeah, Necro Valley. Wow, this has been deeply anticlimactic. This is going great so far. Ooh, Assailant is a very good card though, into pretty much anything that they could summon right now. They're going to set a monster, and that's not great if it's Pyramid Turtle, but it's double costing, so it really doesn't matter. Borgerbot gets the Swift 2-0. Take that, zombies. We double tap around here. I said that like I was so cool, but it was a goddamn Zombieland reference. What am I doing with my life? Let's see the next deck. All right, the next one is a pretty cool one. This is a deck labbed up by Double, one of the biggest contributors to this series. Double put together a deck to show off a couple of cards that are very, very GX. The Princesses and the Ebon and White Magicians, Pikaru and Curran. This deck is just what it looks like. The plan is to put the Magicians on the board. You can use Florette de Fleur to bring back the Magicians and give them 700 attack for free, putting them up to a pretty respectable 1900. Their Equip card, Trial of the Princess, also gives them 800, and if they manage to destroy a level 5 or higher, they get to rank up into their Princess versions. Other than that, it really uses the Spellcaster Special Summoning guys, of which there are a large number. There are just a bunch of these guys that are the familiars of the Charmers, that if you've got a Spellcaster on the board, you can special summon it from your hand, and then some things to protect them, and the Magician's right and left hands just to make my life hell. Double's description of this deck is, these two girls have potential, but they can only grow into a strong princess by facing life's trials together. Or they can fail and turn into a crab. That could happen. Let's see what we're taking up against it. In honor of the fact that Borgerbot is going up against a double special, I figured I'd build a deck that Double has been suggesting for me. Double has really wanted to see the interaction between Future Fusion, Super Alloy Beast Raptinus, Soul Resurrection, and Grass Chopper, one of the most powerful insects in the GX era, a Gemini that when it gets summoned the second time, it can attack every monster your opponent controls. So we are going ham on that strategy. We're running the 2 Grass Chopper, a Gigaplant, which, fun fact, can resurrect insects as well as plants, double Blazewing Butterfly, double Gemini Neosalius, and we've of course got the 2 Doomdozer, the 1 Aztecapede that we pulled, and our normal GX insect package. Those of you who remember our previous Gemini deck will remember that we can use Dragon's Mirror to banish Geminis from the graveyard to summon Raptinus to the board, and use Soul Resurrection to summon them in their vanilla forms from the graveyard. This deck is looking even better than our previous Gemini deck, a low bar to clear, and a lot more fun than the normal GX insect wind pile that we go for. I'm excited to see this one in action. Chat pointed out to me that this is a Shadow of Infinity showdown, Doomdozer versus the princesses, and I'm personally looking forward to it. So I asked chat who would win between 2 magical powered princesses or a bunch of literal insects, and it seems like 84% of them know the power of literal insects. Let's see if their votes were for the right candidate. Let the games begin. All right, starting off with a rock, paper, scissors L for Borgerbot, but a beginning of the game. We're going to normal summon Blazewing Butterfly. That's honestly all right, unless they open with the Princess combo. Blazewing Butterfly is actually weirdly larger than most things they have in the deck. We're going to normal summon a Howling Insect, get in with Blazewing Butterfly, and get in with the Howling Insect. Fleurette de Fleur is now live, though, which is a little bit of a concern. Shining Angel goes up to 1,700 and goes back down to 1,000, courtesy of the Adhesion Trap Hole, the staple of this series. We're going to question back the ultimate insect, the Howling Insect with the ultimate insect on the board. Blazewing Butterfly is not going to be able to get over that, and neither is the Howling Insect. White Magician Pikaru is going to give them a little bit of life back, and the Gigabyte is going to join the board. Whoa, there's the Diamond Crab King. The crab is here, but now they have 0 defense points. Wow, this Charmer card keeps giving them massive numbers of attack points because they have so many attributes on the board. This deck was phenomenally well built to put a bunch of attributes onto the board. We're going to bring back the Blazewing Butterfly. We're going to attack with the Diamond Crab King, take out the Pikaru, and attack into Mystic Tomato. That'll give them the Curran, but their Curran only has 800 attack now. Thank you to the Ultimate Insect level 7. We'll take the 900. They'll summon the Pikaru, and they're going to Magicians United. They're going to Magicians United to put it over the level 7, but we have the Doomdozer. Doomdozer, the backup plan, always has our backs. For a second there, I thought Borgerbot was in a little bit of trouble. Corinne is going to deal a little bit of extra damage. They're going to get in. The Blazewing Butterfly is going to get taken out. We're going to Soul Resurrection back the Howling Insect. The Blazewing Butterfly. Howling Insect will get out of Flying Kamakiri. And we're in largely a holding pattern at this point. Oh, there's the Gigaplant, though, and that might be what we need to turn this around. Gigaplant into the Pendulum and Blazewing Butterfly direct. This is going to be a very difficult thing for them to get out of, but so far this deck has impressed me greatly. We're going to draw for turn. We're going to question if that's Torrential in the back row, we're boned. No Torrential means the game is over and Borgerbot has taken game 1. That was actually a pretty fantastic game. We love to see it. This deck is sick. Game 2. Normal summoning the Howling Insect, going for the Insect Imitation, opening up with the Blazewing Butterfly. Sure, that's a thing worth using Insect Imitation on. They're going to get their Awakening on the board. Shining Angel has a hot 1,700 attack points, attacking over the Blazewing Butterfly that does not have the power to deal with it. Flying Kamakiri gets summoned. We're going to shift everything to defense, and we are sitting pretty with a couple of Battle Recruiters going to attack, and this Shining Angel is a 1 angel army. Flying Kamakiri will summon another Flying Kamakiri. We take those. And we are once again walling up until we normal summon the ultimate insect level 7. What is that? Gagaga Shield onto the Pikaru. A second Gagaga Shield. A third Gagaga Shield onto the Pikaru. Let's go. That is one very defended Pikaru. How is this going to work for us? We do not get enough attacks in a turn. Oh, apparently it only works twice in total. It only works twice in total. Fulero is very powerful for them. They don't have the princess's, the princess's trial on the board, which means that they're going to have a little bit of trouble. Ooh, if only they had had that before the battle phase. That being said, Trial of the Princess puts it up to 3 grand attack points. They are going to be able to summon the original princess off of this Pikaru. That Pikaru is so goddamn big. That Pikaru is so huge. They're going to summon the Princess Pikaru. No, the crab! They failed the test of the crab once more. We're going to tribute off our Grass Chopper and do nothing. The next turn, what will they do here? Diamond Crab King will click yes. We'll switch to attack position to get the 3,000 damage in. Ooh, we've lost all our monsters, but that Diamond Crab King isn't going to be doing anything anytime soon. We can normal summon the Neosalius, get in over the Rizabel, and now we're just staring at a crab. We are just staring at a crab. Two crabs staring at each other. There's the ultimate insect level 3. That's actually kind of sick because as long as they don't get a monster that can run over it, we're going to get a free level 5 during the next turn. Of course, a little bit too much to ask for, but they attack over the Neosalius instead of the level 3. This means that level 5 does have a chance of getting summoned, and we get it. This is huge for us because level 5 has enough attack points to get over their little guys on their own. They need to get more attributes onto the board to get over it, and that could actually happen. No, they've got a light monster that doesn't quite get them over the level 5 here. We can question back, what is our first thing in the graveyard? The Blazewing Butterfly. Of course, it's Blazewing Butterfly. We're going to get back a Neosalius. That's pretty solid, honestly. We can take out the Wormy Boy. We're going to attack. We're going to crash into the Gigabyte. Do they just float into each other endlessly? That's kind of nuts. Wow, I did not consider that. This deck is super sick. Double did a phenomenal job at this one, but the ultimate insect level 5 is still sitting powerfully at the highest attack value on the board. They can continue looping Gigabyte and what is this card even called? Ronryu on the board. If they get another attribute, we may not be able to deal with that. Magicians Unite. Oh, that Kurin is gigantic, and that's not the end of the game. Oh, because Pikaru couldn't attack. Dragon Smear. Dragon Smear could potentially get us back into the game. We're going to sack off the Raptinus for a level 5. No! We've been beaten by the princesses. What a sick goddamn deck. This deck is so fucking cool. Holy shit. Game 2 is Borgerbot's L. Wow. Wow, what a game. Game 3. Let's check out Game 3. All right, Borgerbot's going first. We're going to start by normal summoning a level 3. If we can keep this 3 on the board for one turn, we're going to be really off to the races. What are they going to have? Widespread Ruin is very powerful here. That keeps the level 3 on the board, which means that we can get to level 5 during this turn. Level 5 is insanely powerful as a first monster. Blazewing Butterfly is less so, but is on the board. We really are not getting much mileage out of the Gemini so far, are we? They're going to set a monster. That's great for us. That means that we can get over them very easily. Level 5 gets into level 7. Of course, we drew the level 7 and a second level 5. We're going to bring back the Blazewing Butterfly off of Soul Resurrection. Level 7 will get in, and so will the level 5, and we are already considerably ahead in terms of life points. Fulero could change that, though. Fulero does make Kurin very large, Potentially? I'm a little confused. Oh, because the level 7 takes away the attack boost that it gets with its incredibly powerful effect, and that might just be the end of the game, folks. They've got 2 attack position monsters that are pretty dinky, and we've got a million monsters of our own. Borgerbot said, yeah, that game 2 was cute, but let me show you how it's really done. Shining Angel will summon out a Pikaru, and the level 3 will close out the match. Borgerbot said no more. I let you play the game, but now it's time to show you the bug domination. A little sad that the Geminis didn't get to show up to that one, but that game too was awesome. And it would not be a GX ladder without a Crystal Beast deck. This is Lance's AI Haman deck. This is exactly what it sounds like. The purpose of this deck is to get Haman, the Lord of Striking Thunder, onto the board. A card that Borgerbot may not be equipped to deal with. A 4,000 that can deal 1,000 damage every time it destroys a monster by battle. Very, very powerful card. And it utilizes a couple of more modern Crystal Beast cards to get by. A couple copies of Crystal Bond to add those Crystal Beasts to your hand. This is going to have a lot of Crystal Beasts in rotation at any given time, and uses even a couple of the older Crystal Beast cards that you don't get to see very often. This deck looks very, very cool. So to beat it, we gotta bring something cool of our own, or should I say, something hot. We're bringing back Horus the Black Flame Dragon. I am getting a dub on the board for this deck if it kills me. This is a deck built around synergies with fire monsters, with the double Molten Destruction and a copy of Terraforming. The purpose here is to get Horus the Black Flame Dragon into Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6 into Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, so their spells don't have any effect on us, and more importantly, so that we can summon big Horuses. We've got a bunch of fire guys, including our mass dragons, our UFO turtles, and our cyber phoenix, and an element dragon to take advantage of that. And then a few copies of Blazing Hita or Familiar Possessed Hita, because she's big, she's got 1850, she can put in work. And then we've got one cheesy tech card in here. The return of Gem Flash Energy. The Gem Burn has returned with a vengeance because they're going to have so many continuous spell cards on the board, and we may have a couple of copies of Banner of Courage of our own. We're going to try and outpace their damage. Even if they get a Haman onto the board, hopefully we will have more than enough time to have burned them into the ground. Let's see if the fire can melt the crystals. In honor of the GX finale and the legendary matchup we're about to have, Double presented us with the background for this, the flame versus the thunder. And I had to ask, given my love of Horus, which is more powerful between love or thunder? I've made a bunch of terrible references in this series so far, and this might just be my worst one, but I'm expecting one of our best matches. Let the games begin. Borgerbot is getting to start with a Mass Dragon set too, one of the best starts the deck has to offer. There's a Rainbow City, Rainbow Ruins, and a Crystal Bond. This is a very, very powerful card. It grabs a Crystal Beast and puts a Crystal Beast into the spell trap zone. This Tiger is not enough to get over the Mass Dragon, but we're going to Crystal Raigeki away the Mass Dragon. That's okay because the majority of our deck is, well, there's a question. I was going to say the majority of our deck is a pretty decent guys. The Widespread Ruin is going to take out UFO Turtle, and they've used up most of their resources to deal with 2 recruiters, and we're still left with a recruiter onto the board. A second adhesion trap hole. Eat it. Oh my god. Question is going to bring the questions. You cannot escape the recruiters. Here goes the Element Dragon, woefully going to get hit with the Widespread Ruin, but we're going to continue attacking and get a little bit of the damage reduced by the Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. We are getting a little dangerously close to Haman being available to us. They're going to go for the Mammoth. Mammoth is going to get in over Turtle. Turtle is going to get Mass Dragon, and we are on double Mass Dragon and not a lot else to work with. What's the over-under? Oh, I was going to say that last card is Horus, but it is definitely not. We've got a UFO Turtle and 2 Mass Dragons. Crystal Bond does put them into Haman range. This is seriously terrifying. We do not want to see it, but they're going to use the crystal tree, which is not going to be great for them here because it is going to fill up their spell trap zone. If they get a Haman, that's not going to matter much, but now we have a bunch of dragons on the board and we have the ability to get attacking. We're going to attack in with the Mass Dragon, attack in with the Mass Dragon, attack in with the Mass Dragon. As long as we can fade one Haman. We just have to fade one Haman. No, there's the Haman. Oh, this might get bad for us very, very quickly. Can we draw into the Karma Cut? There's the Horus right on time, buddy. Right on time. There's an Amber Mammoth, and we're going to start taking a large amount of damage here. Ooh, down to 250. We're going to get an Element Dragon out from the deck, and we have to kill this Haman by hook or by crook, or the game is over here. A Cyber Phoenix is normal summoned, and that's just the game. That is just the game. Oh boy, we did not come into this one packing away to out Haman, and Haman has absolutely dumpstered Borgerbot in game 1. Game 2. What do we have game 2? Can we beat them before they get to Haman? We got so close to the dub. What do we have? A Cyber Dragon and a Cyber Phoenix is a pretty good combination here. Widespread Ruin isn't going to target this. I thought that Cyber Phoenix would negate that card, but I guess Widespread Ruin doesn't target. That's kind of sick. We're going to go to the end phase. They're going to get the second Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. We love to see it. Can we continue swarming the board? We did actually see last game that their ability to take out our monsters was actually pretty important to them staying on the board because they got more time with their life points. We've got the Gem Flash energy. Pegasus is just going to give us more, except they've got the Haman now. Security Orb will keep us alive for a turn. We're going to eat some damage with the Cyber Phoenix. We're going to draw a card. What are we going to get off of the top? Gem Flash Energy is going to deal no damage now that they don't have anything on the board. We're going to bring back the Cyber Phoenix and attack, and we're going to normal summon a UFO turtle. Oh, Borgerbot cannot be trusted with anything right now. They're going to attack him with Haman. Cyber Dragon's going to get devastated. We're going to take a grand off of that. A hot stack UFO turtle will get the Mass Dragon. Haman is so goddamn good against us here. Borgerbot is just going to go through monsters, and we don't really have anything that deals with this. Tell me that's a Karma Cut or a Widespread Ruin. Tell me that's one of the two. We just need one of the two. No, it's a Gem Flash Energy. Oh, we're going to draw off the Cyber Phoenix. Fortunately, we cannot die this turn. That's good news. Mass Dragon's going to get out an Element Dragon. They're going to attack into the Element Dragon. All right, Gem Flash Energy is going to continue to accomplish absolutely jack. Cyber Dragon is going to attack into the Phoenix or the Pegasus. Okay, draw for turn. That's not Karma Cut. But it is Security Orb. We live for another turn. Okay. All right. Another turn gets us another chance to draw into a trap card. Gem Flash Energy is finally going to deal a little bit of damage, but not enough damage to actually matter in this game. Terraforming is not great to see. Our fire monsters are not what we needed right now. We're going to take out the Rainbow Ruins. And that does it, folks. That is the end of the game. Borgerbot got dumpstered this time around. Oh no. God. Wow. What are we going to do? We are going to really have to go back to the drawing board on this one, folks. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But it does turn out that the Cringe Banish deck could not be better against this matchup. Both Macrocosmos and Banisher of the Radiance make the Crystal Beasts unusable, and Cyber Prima can bring us back from behind. This deck doesn't have more game against Haman, and that is a concern for sure, but most likely they aren't going to be able to establish a Haman. I think this deck is probably the deck that we have that is going to do this, but Oh, God, does it feel dirty. You know what? No, I will not stand for it. I will not retreat like a coward to the cringe deck again. I have been wanting to bring back Gladiator Beasts in this ladder, and I think this is the deck to do it against. The Crystal Beasts themselves are relatively dinky, but more importantly, this deck has the ability to absolutely clear their back row. I am going to make a couple of modifications. Namely, I am going to take out Swords of Reveal or Concealing Light in favor... Actually, Swords of Concealing Light is potentially cracked. Hold up. I'm cooking, folks. I'm cooking. I think we should bring in the Cyber Primas from the cringe-ass light deck. I think I'm going to take out a copy of Gladiator Beast Alexander because it's just not going to help us out in this matchup. And then we're going to bring in more copies of Banner of Courage. What else are we doing here? Is there a field spell we should use to take out Ancient City? Perhaps we should bring in Colosseum. Ooh, okay. All right. We have things to work with here. Question is really good because it can get us into Geyserus more easily. Nightmare Wheel could also be good, but it's more likely to be used against a Crystal Beast than it is to be used against a Haman. Actually, we probably just don't need Battle Manica. Our monsters can hold up against Crystal Beasts very easily, especially with Banner of Courage in rotation. Let's bring in another... Yeah, let's bring back the Nightmare Wheel. Austin, you're a genius. You're a genius, Austin. You know why you're a genius? Because I do have a card that's good into Haman. And it's called Special Hurricane. It only destroys special summoned monsters on the board. And that deck only special summons the Haman. It only special summons Haman. Hold up, Haman is not an activated effect, right? Yeah. Black Horn of Heaven. Black Horn of Heaven is very good into Haman. All right. Okay. All right. I'm feeling it, folks. I think we can do it. I think we can avoid being cringe and continue the ladder climb. I believe. Damn, look at the haters. 93% of the vote goes to those who don't believe. I asked who believes. I'm only seeing 4 believers in chat, but I believe this is a battle for our very souls, for the very heart of the series, that we don't bring cringe floodgate decks to the board. We bring based combo decks to beat the Haman. I believe in Geyserus. I believe in Bestiari. I believe in Borgerbot, and I believe that we will continue this series. Let the game begin. All right. The enemy bot is going first. This doesn't bode well. They do have a lot of spells already set up. That means that a Cyber Prima is going to be very powerful. We've got Colosseum on the board, which knocks out the Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. We get to put an Andal on the board, but instead Borgerbot chooses to crash into Dimikari. Truly fascinating decision by Borgerbot there. That is not a good one. Crystal Tree is going to set a... That was a fascinating series of events, but fortunately, that actually puts them way behind, not only on card advantage, but also on their access to Haman. Dimikari comes back. We are going to go into Geyserus. Let's go. Geyserus is going to target itself. Geyserus is going to target itself. They didn't have enough cards on the board to target. No, the Geyserus is dead. Fortunately, we do have 2 of them. Andal's going to get in for 1900, and they don't have a Crystal Beast that can beat this. Because the AI won't attack in with Topaz Tiger, we're actually okay. Andal has been the star of this Gladiator Beast show this entire series so far, and Andal is going to continue keeping us alive. We're going to summon a Dimikari from deck off of the Darius, and we are in very solid shape for this one. Somehow, despite Geyserus killing itself, we actually have the advantage. Grand Mole will add insult to injury, and the Gladiator Beasts have taken the first game. Let's go. We are doing this. Game 2. All right, Borgerbot gets the first move. We're going to normal summon a Bestiari. Not our ideal opener. They can deal with that with pretty much any crystal beast. Crystal Tree, Ancient City, they're going to set a monster. Okay, all right. If we get a second Gladiator beast, here comes the Geyserus. Let's take out everything they've got. We're going to hit the monster and the Crystal Tree. That's incredibly powerful, and they are not using the Crystal Beast's effect because it wasn't face up when it was destroyed. This is an incredible tempo move by Borgerbot. We've got some decent guys on the board. What happens next a little bit depends on what we have in the back row. They're going to summon the Sapphire Pegasus. Sapphire Pegasus will stack up a guy in the back row. Rare value is actually not good for them here. They're going to summon out the Topaz Tiger. What do we have? Ooh, we do not have anything. That clears the entire board. That's gotta be a Black Horn of Heaven they have in the back row. Question will bring back a guy. It's the Darius. If we have a Bestiari, that gets us in very good shape, but we do not. Darius goes back into the deck and gets us a second Dimikari. Okay, not the ideal thing for us, but a Karma Cut will make quick work of that Sapphire Pegasus. A Crystal Bond will add a Emerald Tortoise, sure, and sending... We love to see them putting the Pegasus into the back row there. Ooh, we are going to get the Darius's effect. Despite the fact that we're taking damage here, Bestiari is going to take out our own back row, because of course it is, but Geyserus is going to come out onto the board. Geyserus is going to take out their Pegasus and their Tiger. That sets them back a huge amount for the Haman. This is phenomenal to see. They're going to summon the Mammoth. It's going to attack into Giant Rat. Giant Rat has two targets in the deck. That's Grand Mole and our Test Ape. The Mammoth is going to put itself to defense position. Sure, we're going to normal summon an Andal, though. Ooh, that is a large amount of monsters we're going to put out. But we are not going to attack because the Andal is not big enough to deal with the Tortoise. That's very, very funny. They're going to summon the second Tortoise and attack into the Grand Mole. Thank you for doing that for us. We are now facing down a Tortoise with not a lot to do with it. They're going to use the Crystal Raigeki, which doesn't do a huge amount. Grand Mole is normally phenomenal in these situations, but unfortunately is not going to work out much when it comes to dealing the Crystal Beast player. They're going to not attack with the Emerald Tortoise. The Emerald Tortoise is a little bit of a liability for them here. We're going to be able to attack into it, but a Widespread Rune will make swift work of our first Andal. Andal will attack into the Tortoise, and we still aren't tagging out because we do not have a Gladiator beast that is getting in damage that has the effect. Andal is a little bit of a double-edged sword in that way. They'll always attack with it first, but a Banner of Courage does mean that we can take out the Emerald Tortoise. Rainbow Ruins is going to have our damage, but we have the Darius. Let's go, Geyserus. Let's go. Why does Bestiari insist on targeting our own what is with the coding of Bestiari? Fortunately, Geyserus has no such problem and is going to take out all of their back row. Topaz Tiger could deal with Grand Mole if it weren't for Grand Mole's effect. Grand Mole actually really proving its worth here. We now have a Geyserus that has no contest on board. We're going to attack in with the Grand Mole. They're going to have the damage from the Grand Mole, and they're not going to have the damage from the Geyserus. Geyserus is going to get out a Dimikari and an Andal. Two of our better guys, especially if they have a dinky guy in rotation. Crystal Beacon will summon the Sapphire Pegasus. This is not ideal for us. They're going to summon a Tiger. They're going to start getting in, but fortunately, Grand Mole deals with the Tiger again. We now again have the tempo, and Grand Mole is paying dividends here. There's nothing that they can do. Ancient City Rainbow Ruins can have the damage all it wants, but Borgerbot will win. Believers eating good. We do not go cringe on this show when we have the power to play Gladiator Beast. That's the power of believing in our deck, believing in Borgerbot, believing in the heart of the cards. We continue to the final deck on the ladder. It's time to see our last boss in the GX series. And how else could GX end off except with the final boss of the very format that GX I Challenge You gave birth to, the Duel Academy Champions deck built by Lyron and Plural J. This deck is unbelievably good. If you remember my first stream in which I played Duel Academy format, you will remember that a deck very similar to this absolutely dumpstered me, and this version is tuned for a little bit of variety, but also for the bot's potential. It's got 3 copies of Fusion Sword Murasame Blade and 3 copies of Blast with Chain, a card that was so good in Season 1 that I had to ban it for Season 2. Cyber Gymnast provides a little bit of toolbox ability, as well as the 3 copies of Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, a very cool card in low-power GX formats. And, of course, we have the potential to see Gearfried the Swordmaster. This is the most powerful of all of the decks that contain nothing released after GX. It can even future fusion into UFO Roid Fighter. This deck has incredible potential, which means we've got to bring our best deck against it. And Borgerbot has no better deck in its arsenal than Insect. This is the original wind variant of the Insect, featuring the 3 ultimate Insect level 5 and Insect Imitation to get into it. This deck has been tuned up since the last time that we played it, now that it gets to run the Double Doom Dozer, the Aztecapede, and of course the many pieces of back row to go with it. But we have one piece of metagaming tech. Since we are taking this last deck so seriously, we are running 3 copies of Really Eternal Rest and 2 copies of Original Eternal Rest. These are cards that destroy all monsters on the board that are equipped with equip cards, namely Fusion Sword Murasame Blade and Blast with Chain. This is a way that we can deal with the equip cards without running into Fusion Sword and Blast with Chain's effects when you hit them with destruction. This deck has so much beatdown power by way of Rising Air Current and Ultimate Insect level 7 that we have seen nothing that can stand properly in its way. I don't intend for that to change today. Let's see if Borgerbot can take down the final boss of GX. This is a close one, but it seems like chat thinks the smart money is on the Duel Academy champion. When asking who takes home the belt, 51% of the vote has gone to the Duel Academy champion deck. 49% is on our underdog. I believe in Borgerbot. This deck has carried Borgerbot through so many more challenges before, and it's won every time, but that doesn't matter now because it's all come to the final battle, the final boss. The victory in GX will go to one of these decks. Who will it be? Let the games decide, and let the games begin. Starting with the rock, paper, scissors, which Borgerbot has won. Again, this doesn't mean anything, but in this case, Borgerbot is going to be going first. This does mean that it is on a card advantage, and with 2 back row in the tank, Win is a very solid opener. We're going to put it down a 3rd back row, but Widespread Ruin is going to take out Win. We don't like to see basically nothing in the hand, but Sylphid will keep our board presence. The opponent isn't doing anything yet, but don't let that deceive you. This deck is very good at dealing. I may have overestimated its capability to deal with this board. We're going to Karma Cut away the Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, of course, discarding the 2nd Sylphid. We love to see it. The Sylphid is going to get in. It's got 2200 attack, and remember, has that hand rip if the opponent can destroy it, but the opponent has nada. The opponent has nothing, and a Flying Kamakiri is going to continue to solidify Borgerbot's field presence. This is a powerful board with 3 back row, and they still have used nothing. Question is going to bring back absolutely nothing because it's a Sylphid engrave, and Borgerbot is going to take game 1. Is this a champion we're up against? Is this a champion, or is this a chump? We'll have to see in game 2. Game 2, Borgerbot's going to be going first. Again, we're going to normal summon the Ultimate Insect level 3. This is always a power play. If we can protect this monster for 1 turn is all it takes to take over the board, and they are not going to put a face-up monster down, which means Ultimate Insect level 3 becomes Ultimate Insect level 5. Question will bring back the level 3. Sure, I'll take the potential for another 5. Warrior Lady of the Wasteland's going to summon the Cyber Gymnast, and Cyber Gymnast will be eaten alive by the Ultimate Insect level 3. You will not take out level 5 that easily. We're going to Adhesion Trap Hole Swordswoman. Not our best move, but the level 3 survives for yet another turn to get yet another level 5, and level 5 is going to go into level 7. Oh, and we're going to use really eternal rest. Wait, this is an OTK? What is this damage? What? Burgerbot has made a statement. I have never seen a win that fast. Burgerbot didn't even need the metagaming. Really, Eternal Rest was just a bonus there. Burgerbot established field presence and didn't slow down. We've got to give this a game 3 to send out the season. We have to let the champ try one more time. We can't let it go out like this. The Burgerbot's going to go first again. We're really getting our money's worth out of going first. Here we go. Terraforming into the second copy of Rising Air Current is going to negate all that advantage turn 1. Win is going to have 2350 attack points with a back row. That's not terrible. They're going to have a monster face down. Let's see if we can establish a second monster of our own. No, we've got a second back row and obnoxious Celtic Guard. Of course, that's the monster that they're going to be up against. We're going to Karma cut it. We're not going to let that get away. They've got the Gearfried the Swordmaster, a very powerful card, but a much dinkier card now. They're going to use the Warrior Returning Alive. Here comes the Fusion Sword Murasame Blade that has the ability to take out Wind, but that's still a relatively dinky Gearfried the Swordmaster. If we can establish a monster with any kind of attack power, we're going to be in great shape, and Sylphid is just that monster. Sylphid is going to attack in over the Gearfried the Swordmaster, and now we are back in the front seat again. Sylphid is an extremely powerful follow-up, and of course we've got the Flying Gamakiri #1, our ever reliable recruiter. They're going to draw for turn. They're going to set a monster. Okay, what are we going to get? Is it a second? Oh, a second Sylphid is very powerful. They don't have a lot in the way of monster removal, which means they're going to have to destroy these by battle, and they don't have another monster to work with. Unless this is Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, you've got to believe that we're going to take the 3-0 today. There's the Warrior Lady of the Wasteland into a second Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, but that's 1100 damage. That's a lot to take, with a Cyber Gymnast being the third card. The champ crumbles in the face of Burgerbot's greatest deck. This insect deck has never failed us before, and Burgerbot will carry all the way up to the top of the GX ladder. What a way to end this season, prepared for 5Ds. I cannot wait for that season. What a season it's been. We've seen GX accomplish so many things that we've never seen GX cards do before. We've seen Nephthys win games. We've seen the ultimate insects carry us. We've even seen Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, menace us today. GX has been really a series to deliver, and I cannot wait for 5Ds. I will see all of you here for the Duelist Genesis. Go forward in humble confidence, my friends.